football and other words.
Yeah.
Let's nerd out.
Okay.
There's a little bit of echo in our little bit of delay. There we go. We fixed it.
We're back, baby.
Hey, we're on our third producer.
Big Joseph in the house.
I mean, we don't know where Mojo Rojo's at. He's probably, he's probably a little busy.
I heard he met a.
Okay.
I heard he met a pair of pillows in Florida.
Oh my!
Probably pillows for a king size bed.
Yes, he's getting some very nice sleep.
Well, listen, don't nothing hit right like a good pair of pillows.
That is true. That's why they're used for pillow fights. So, and then of course Jackson is over on with the Matt Murphy show. Funny story. I was telling you about it. We were kind of joking around with, Jackson hating, our show. And Matt Murphy was in the producer studio today. And he goes, he's like Matt Murphy of WTN, Super Talk WTN on the afternoons. And he goes, I'm sure that Jackson talks a lot of shit about me when I'm not in the room. And Joseph, look at each other, producer Joseph behind the glass.
Yeah.
King producer, by the way.
King producer.
That's what he wants to be called, king producer.
Is that on his resume?
I don't know. He was only called executive producer on 3HL, but I allowed him to pick king producer as his title.
There we go.
There you go. We both looked at each other, and then we both looked at Matt Murphy and go, no, he loves you.
Well, listen, you can see it in a man's eyes.
Well, that's true, especially when you're, belly to belly.
Well, that's a mental image I won't shake soon.
Yeah, well, you got that's the only way to look at someone in the eyes.
It's the only way to look at another man.
Yeah.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly.
Big Jeff was looking at somebody belly to belly today.
Look at that.
I
was literally about to go to Big Jeff and Cody Mock and the domination of Cody Mock
boy.
that got spread around the world. By the way, it's football under the F words. I don't even think we said that.
Oh, yeah.
Football under the F words. Big news for 104.5 The Zone. We just got nominated for Best Sports Talk in the Nation.
That's the only 5 nominees.
Technically, because football is such a king sport, probably the world.
I would definitely say the universe even. Yeah,
probably the universe. I don't know what Mars is like or these other galaxies that may exist.
Yeah, they ain't breaking down the Titans like this station is.
No doubt. And I mean, for a Nashville sports station, for over the course of the year get nominated for Sports Station of the Year, while they have to cover a piss-poor fucking Tennessee Titans team.
3-14.
One would say that, someone would have had to come in and change that luck.
Yeah.
Because,
who would have come in about a year ago?
Well, it's kind of weird.
This is the franchise around.
I mean, I'm not one to toot my own horn or anything, and I'm not a horn tooter.
We're just pointing out coincidences.
I just want to let everybody know before Zach says this that I also moved to 3HL about a year ago, so I'm a part of this with you, Zach.
Well, I mean, I guess moves were made. We'll say plural form. The moves were made, and I guess at the same time that I was hired, Joseph also jumped to a different show, and I would say these moves were probably the domino effect of many other moves. And then you, of course, get brought in with football and other F words. And then now you are doing Titans Talk Back. And a week later that we announced Titans Talk Back, we get this award?
Yeah, we're just pointing out coincidences here.
Just a lot of coincidences. This may be, if we get the Marconi Award, I think everybody gets a Marconi Award to take home and put on their mantle. Just so everybody knows, we should get the 3 largest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it
and not in height?
Not in height. Girth.
We
should get the girthiest Marconi Awards.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just picturing.
Are you just thinking about length and girth right now?
Length and girth, yeah. Just call me Hugh Freeze the way I'm lengthening and girthing.
Hey, we got Karen in the chat. She says, hey, Zach, Stoney, and Ross. And then she realizes, Zach and Zeph.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hi,
no
Karen.
Mojo Rojo today Not unfortunately, just no Mojo Rojo today.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got keen producers up on the glass.
Got to tend to them pillows.
But I'm very honored to be among the many reasons, if not maybe like one or two, the first or second reason why we're getting this award.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a coincidence. Like I just can't say first time this station has ever gotten the nomination for Marconi Award just happens to be the first year of my career here.
I mean, in university we learned that correlation does not imply causation, but there's a lot of external factors. There's a lot of variables going on here. It's a coincidence.
A little bit of spice, because I'm not a University of Tennessee fan. So
that's right.
I know that, I believe Sue Ann, she does not like me because I'm an Alabama fan, but that's okay.
Well,
I still like Sue Ann.
Yeah. And that is
and
why.
I think that altruism speaks a lot to why we got the award.
I think the people at the Macaroni Award saw that and were like, this station. Man,
no cheese for the Macaroni Awards.
They got something special going on here. Are we going to get rings like the Birmingham Bowl?
No, I think we actually do get if a newscast or a sportscast gets Emmys, everybody that's involved gets Emmys. So I think we're actually going to get a Macaroni Award.
Well, we haven't won it yet.
What about part-time
We're a
people?
finalist.
We are a finalist.
You're over here sound like Diego Pavia right now. Sounding like you won everything.
Well, I just you speak it into existence.
I mean, that's what he's trying to do. He thinks Vanderbilt's going to win a national championship.
Well, he won a national championship last year when he beat Alabama. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing for Vanderbilt.
I haven't listened to any of those 4 other stations, but I'm confident we're better.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Texans or the Houston station.
Oh, trash.
Yeah. Trash.
Wannabes.
Utter trash.
Wannabes,
Houston,
I heard.
But
yeah.
I'm with you guys.
I mean, Houston's a trash city. It's a bottom tier NFL
Houston.
city.
I love Houston, but what was the thing I said about Houston that everybody thought was so funny? Because I was like, I love Houston. It's quiet. It's dead. There's nobody there.
Maybe it's because it's dead.
And everybody was like, oh, yeah, Stoney loves this dead city where nobody's
dead city.
Like, yes, I do. I do love
that. So there's Houston. There's Detroit, which they kind of got easy street, right? I mean, they finally came out of the doldrums of the NFL
America's
basement.
Sweethearts.
And they are America's sweethearts. Easy sports broadcasting for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Michigan coming off a national title. They had they even had the opportunity to talk about, their own version of Spygate. Yeah. Then they got they get the Ohio State wins. They got the Detroit Lions. Yeah. I mean, they kind of got easy street.
Yeah, you know what? They should be automatically disqualified for not having to go through hell.
I mean, their hell existed many years ago. If you didn't win your award during your hell period, that's your own fault.
Yeah. I mean, you look at what this station had to do with the 2024 Titans. It was like handing a painter a bucket of mud and saying, we need your masterpiece.
Okay, so there was Houston, which kind of got it pretty good. I mean, the Rockets had some good NBA coverage that they were able to get with some trades and this and that. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Astros, who were kind of always in contention.
But they had a scandal recently, too.
Yeah, but they have the University of Texas. They have Texas A&M, both winning records for their seasons.
I mean, Rice
Texas
is there.
State got to go to the Big 12 after coming off a winning season. The Dallas Cowboys is easy money for ratings.
I'm with you.
And I know this is Houston, but I'm just saying that all this stuff feeds into the Houston airwaves. And the Texans were good, so fuck them. And then Boston.
Yeah, Boston should never win any award for that.
Yeah, well, they have the worst voices in radio.
Yeah, that's like
a bunch of Northern Stillmans up there.
Inherently offensive. You shouldn't be able to win an award like this if we can't listen to your own voice.
And then you got Philly. Oh, you won the Super Bowl. That was a real hard year to cover sports.
Yeah. No.
I think Nashville should take it just because the level of difficulty was ramped up. It is like where you're playing Guitar Hero on expert level, playing Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force.
It's just a reflection, this station, just lunch pail effort. Just showing up to work every day, blue collar, getting through that season, and still providing some interesting and entertaining commentary on this team.
Think about this. Not only... Karen said, don't break your arms, patting yourself on the back. But I'm about to do it again. Mm-hmm. Not only do I have to cover the Tennessee Titans 5 days a week, But then I also had to do it on Sunday nights in prime time for Titans Talk Back.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to do an extra time coming in on Football and Other Efforts.
Yeah. It's a lot of time.
That's dedication that I bet these other teams aren't doing.
Also, the best team in this city over the last year has been Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Or soccer.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Well, sort of, depending on the calendar year.
Last year, they were kind of bad.
Yeah.
This year, they're good.
No good NFL team.
Nope.
No good NHL team.
Nope.
MSL team sucked. Yeah, Vanderbilt, besides the University of Memphis, which is considered part of Arkansas or Mississippi, they've considered Tennessee. I disagree, but that's how it's viewed. Yeah. The best quarterback was technically Seth Hennigan, but the second best quarterback of 2024 in Tennessee was Diego Pavia.
Yeah. I mean, Derek Mason hadn't turned
Nico
around.
is not a Tennessee football player anymore.
Not anymore.
No, fuck that guy.
Derek Mason hasn't turned MTSU around just yet.
Yeah.
That's coming. You couldn't even talk about the Blue Raiders on the radio in this city.
I mean, just kind of crazy.
Admirable, commendable effort this year from everyone at 104.5 The Zone.
Chris Fleming. I was about to be a dick. But he does ask, any reason why we cut Ryan Stonehouse? Was it because he couldn't place the punt in the desired range? Because I was just going to go, well, that was like 3 months ago. but yes.
The most
what you said, you answered your own question, Chris.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate your question, but it's just funny.
That was
like we're sitting here talking about other stuff, and then you just look over and you see a Ryan Stonehouse question circling out of your periph.
The most pressing matters addressed first here on
But
the
I
show.
will say that Bones Fossil did talk. They've been practicing a lot of directional punting to give you actual analysis and not pull, maybe if those words don't work, then these words don't work. Yes, it is the directional punting. I also think that Ryan Stonehouse, maybe to no fault of his own, got a little scared and gun shy. Because really, when you look at Ryan Stonehouse's game, is all built on the leg and not necessarily on the directional punting. And what we've heard from Vrabel and Brian Callahan throughout the years that Ryan Stonehouse has been a Tennessee Titan was that directional punting. It just never happened through 3 seasons, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Hey,
or 2 seasons.
I hate to interrupt you guys, but the NFL preseason is currently going
Did Anthony
on.
Richardson throw an interception?
No, he got hurt.
No.
No way!
He got sacked on a free rush by David Ajabo.
Yeah.
And he came out with an arm injury.
Wow.
I mean, he got smacked into the
David
turf.
Ojabo, guy that won the Tennessee Titans draft.
Michigan guy.
Wasn't he last year?
Is the year before?
Year
maybe
before?
even 2 years ago.
Daniel Jones who was supposed to go in not go in until the second quarter, is now in the game, and they're only halfway through this first quarter.
Man,
that's
tough scene.
I hate
Cold
laughing, but also
It's
fuck the
bad.
Colts.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh man, sucks.
I'm going to level with you guys. I thought Daniel Jones was going to win that job anyway.
Well, yeah, he's got paid $13 million,
Yeah,
right?
I
mean,
don't think-
that was his job to lose.
I think this was more like this gives us an option to sit Richardson and maybe hope that he develops into something.
You think they'll trade for Brandon Allen?
Maybe they could.
Because, you just got to let Tim Boyle.
Let Tim Boyle.
That might be the greatest tweet I've ever read.
Well, let me say this. It is by far the best tweet of Terry McCormick's life. But I will say for my lifetime, that is a top 10 tweet.
It is, yeah.
Because I love dad jokes and puns.
It's so good.
Let
It's so
Tim
good.
Boyle, I'm actually very jealous.
I know. How did
think
nobody think about that until Terry? I
also love the idea of him workshopping it on the sidelines, as according to Easton. It's just even better.
It's like he's working it, testing it out, putting out the feelers to see how people react to it. Positive reaction, he's going to tweet it, and then the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Zach, check your text messages. I just sent you the Anthony Richardson sack.
Here we go.
He hurt his arm.
I still think the Gabe Aneurysm Lily tweet might be Terry's best
Yeah,
work.
but that was, it
was an accident.
That was an
not
accident.
the
Oh,
same
my God. That's just a standard tackle. Like, but first off, oh, boy, that tight end is getting cut.
Is that Tyler Warren?
I don't know.
He's 14, so
that
is Tyler Warren.
Is that 84? That's 84. Who's 84?
I'll look it up.
My God, they just went right by. Oh, and the running back didn't ship either. Oh,
cool.
Yeah, there's 2 guys getting cut there.
So
shit.
So Daniel Jones is the starter for the Colts now?
Yeah.
Like, that was it?
Yeah. Well, who's their third quarterback?
Jason.
No, it's
Jason Bean. Your boy Jason Bean.
And it Riley
Let's
Leonard?
go. Oh, yeah, they did draft
Riley.
Riley.
They draft Riley
Jason
Leonard.
Bean.
Jason Bean's
Sorry.
4th string.
Yeah.
But, hey, promotion's a promotion.
Yeah.
You're up to the 3rd team now, Jason
Warren
Bean.
is 84, and so that was Warren that missed it.
Whew, man.
Yeah. Oof. Tough scene.
Yep,
Tough scene for the rookie.
Cut the first rounder.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's cut him. Hey, I know who's first on the waiver claims. Cut Tyler Warren. Cut Tyler Warren because Tennessee Titans can get him because they're first.
Yeah, and then they get rid of Josh Wiley.
Yeah, well, they're getting rid of him anyway. This would be rest in peace, David Martin Robinson in this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's had a really good time. And I'd encourage everybody to go
Glad he's enjoying
Justin
himself.
Mello's Twitter feed. He has a sit-down interview with DMR that's really good. So there you go.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I love
really
me some
good. It was this
DMR.
morning. So
Yeah.
a lot happened this morning,
Had a busy
including
day.
let's go all the way back to belly stare a man in the eyes and go back to the Jeffrey Simmons conversation with Cody Mock. So I was talking with Blaine about this today. I'm not sure where 3HL landed on this. So we'll get that in a minute. I felt like it was a little bit more even just because you didn't really know what the point of the play was. Now, we'll say Blaine said that the guard did not get into his quick pass set, so it would have been a long developing play. But the push down or the pull down, the grab down, the throw down, whatever you want to call it, was a little bit after the play was over.
Whistle would have been blown.
Let's disqualify that from the memory.
Yeah.
Was it a win, in your opinion, for Big Jeff or Cody Mock? I lean Big Jeff. Cody Mock, Ramon kind of leaned Cody Mock, but I lean Big Jeff because I think that because the play was more of a long developing play, that either A, Big Jeff created a scenario where someone else could come in, or he pushed the guy back into the quarterback.
I gave it to Cody Mock because I think he holds him for a split second long enough for the ball to come out. Okay. And I think if we say he's going to push him back into the quarterback, I think we assume, and this is
because that guy in the fat red guy back there, he was moving.
The Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid man was moving.
He was moving, but I don't think he's as mobile as like healthy Baker Mayfield back there. So I think, quarterback is able to evade that pressure. There's so many things like we can get into to qualify it. It's like, well, what else is happening across the line? Yeah. Is that the only point where pressure's coming through? Is there an escape path for the quarterback? But just looking at it from a timing perspective and from what actually happens, I landed on Cody because I think he holds him. There's a point where he regains his composure, gets his feet set, gets a wide base, and he holds Jeff for just long enough. And you can see Jeff kind of like stutter a little bit. It's like he doesn't quite know what to do, and then he just kind of bull rushes him. But at that point, I feel like the ball's already out.
Joseph?
I actually just got off the phone with Ramon an hour ago, and I asked him about this because I asked you about this morning, and I wanted to get his take on it. And he said when he first watched it, he was going to lead Cody. But now that he's kind of like reevaluated it, he said it was a setup play by Big Jeff where Jeff could have gotten by him. Jeff could have done one of his moves and gotten by him, and he would have been at the quarterback. But what he thinks Jeff was doing there was setting up like a play for in the future where you can feel where Cody would feel Jeff doing that, and so he would think, oh, okay, he's just going to drive me back again. But then Jeff would, put on one of his moves. And he said that Cody did a good job because, Jeff bull rushed him. Jeff put it right in his chest, and like Stoney said, he held it. But he thinks that Jeff was setting up something for later. So he called it good on good. Yeah. But where he said Jeff won the rep was after the play, when he got in Cody's head and he got thrown to the ground, that's where Jeff won because he knew he got inside the offensive lineman's head.
To that point, it did kind of feel like Jeff was thinking about something. There's a moment of hesitation. If you watch it, like really slow it down from when the ball is snapped, quote unquote, Jeff kind of stands up and gets his hands up, and there's like a brief moment of hesitation, like almost as if he doesn't quite know which move he's going to deploy. And it does give Cody Mauch a chance to kind of get his hands on him, get into place. I think Jeff wins the first step, but he just doesn't connect the blow. And so all of what I just said is fine, but also if Jeff just explodes out of that stance and just fluidly one movement punches him in the chest, I think he's got him. He's cooked him. He's put him up on skates. He's got the pad level advantage, and then it is probably a pressure. I think there's a moment of hesitation, and to what Joseph said that Ramon was saying, it could have been a little bit of gamesmanship of like setting something up for later on down the line. Is like
which
getting
is
a
interesting
sense for how this guy's going to move, because he goes out, Cody goes out with him, and there's a moment where I'm just like, and if Jeff had just reached up and grabbed his shoulder and just shoved him, then he's out of the play because he's off balance. But there's like this awkward feeling out moment between the two, and Cody Mauch kind of gets back, gets his feet reset, gives up the yard to avoid giving up 6 yards kind of deal.
Which is something that Jackson Slater talked about on this podcast over there in that seat.
Yeah, gets his anchor, and he holds him. Like I screenshot it and posted it on Twitter. It's like when he gets this base and just holds him for a fraction of a second, that's a win if the ball comes out. It might not look like it, but
well, see, my initial reaction to it was like because I'm a sadist, I'm a cynical person. I like to poke fun at stuff. So I was like, oh, look at number 4 defensive tackle in the league, get his shit kicked in, just as a joke. Mm-hmm. But I even said upon looking at it, I was like, I don't know, I kind of think that Jeff actually won that rep, and I guess because the setting up of it, I guess I would now lean a little bit more to Jeff, because I do think there is a pressure involved in all this, and there is an affecting of the quarterback involved in all this. But then it goes to like, as a defensive tackle, do you really need to set up moves for later?
Well,
because I'm like, if you can win one way, because Coach Mack said this earlier this week, and it kind of like resonated with me, is like, you don't need a bunch of pass rush moves. You just need to work on your fastball. And if his fastball is this power move, which we've all seen, why get cute with it? And why not just like stuff it in his fucking face?
I think the more I watched it, the more I landed on one, we're blowing up one practice rep
and
in a
first
training
off,
camp.
the ridiculousness of it, calling it like a domination or whatever wordage they use to get that hyperbole out there. Kudos to them to get their
clicks
clip
in.
go viral.
Yeah,
but it was totally fucking wrong.
But I think like we can. I love doing this. By the way, I mean I watched that clip probably 100 times this morning, and I love talking to credible people that have opinions on it, because I think it's one of those plays that highlights the gray areas in football where the margins are razor thin between a win and a loss. So after watching it over and over and over, I kind of landed on, I think if you take that rep in a vacuum on its own, I would award it to Cody. But you see a path 2 times in the play where Jeff could have absolutely smoked him if he wanted to.
That's kind of where I landed on it. I was trying to describe it as, okay, I think in a vacuum, in a 1v1 environment, I'd probably lean a little bit Cody Mauch. Mm-hmm. But if I were to take that play and Big Jeff was to do that play in a game, I think that is a bigger win for the defense than it is for the offense, because he's pushed him so far back, he's broke the chain. The chain among the 5 people where you're supposed to stay on the hip of your offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. He single-handedly broke that chain.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of where the quarterback is in the play, by the time he throws it, he's likely not in the pocket. And if he's in the pocket, Big Jeff have created such a wide hole that you broke the cylinder that the center guard triangle is just fucking shattered. It's more of an isosceles triangle. And someone's coming in to make that play. Now, that's on a standard defense. On the Tennessee Titans, they're probably going to be too slow to get there.
Maybe. I don't know.
And the reason I say that is to take us into our next topic of these missed sacks.
Yes.
Because I think there's a big philosophical discussion about missed sacks. We heard Brian Callahan, Denard Wilson, Mike Bergonzi, all these guys talk about this missed sack stat. And they said, with no malice.
Ill intentions?
Ill intentions, that's a good word. With no ill intentions, they said they missed 20 sacks. Now, if you are the standard listener or the fan, and you hear, oh, my team missed 20 sacks, that means bad luck. We probably should have had closer to 52 sacks instead of 32 sacks.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Totally understand it.
That's what I thought.
But for us that are in this analysis, that watch the film, I just go back and I think, real quick off the top of my head, thinking about 20 missed sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think there are 20 missed sacks. I don't think there are 20 additional sacks on the 32.
Well, yeah, and to that point, when you said that, I was kind of going back through the tape that I had watched. I watched every game last year at least 3 times, and I was like, I don't remember seeing this widespread phenomenon of missed sacks.
And I'm just like, well, that just doesn't make sense. That doesn't sit right with me. And we started having discussion out on media. And it's kind of a discussion I brought off air, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go watch all these pressures, and I just never got around to it. And then last week, either Friday or Thursday at one of the practices, and we're talking about it because PK just wrote this article over on his site about rushing together and about how, oh, the offensive line's not too worried. Or he brought up this question about the offensive line. How can you say that they handle pressures when they're going up against your shitty pass rushers?
Mm-hmm.
And he said it much nicer than I did, but
right.
It's called spade a spade.
Right.
And that brought me back to the missed sacks. And we started having this conversation between me, JT was there, Easton was there, Austin Stanley, and PK were there. And we were talking about it, and I'm just like, he was talking about his side, and I'm like, you're right, because I go back to this missed sack. You said it in your article about 20 missed sacks, and I'm like, I just can't think off the top of my head that there were 20 missed sacks. And what I am saying when I say this is different than their intention, but what I'm saying is that there's not 20 plays that should have ended in a sack that ended otherwise.
Yeah.
And it got to this big discussions like, well, they're talking, Easton was taking the stance of that, well, a missed sack is a missed sack because, blah, 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 blah. And what he was basically saying, as a coaching tool, when there is a play like the Drake May play, which I could pull up real quick, the Drake May play, where Arden Key, Amani Hooker, and Mike Brown all missed a sack where Drake May got that touchdown.
Yeah.
They all grabbed him or right there, had 2 arms around him, and Drake May slipped out.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly. Sometimes face to ass. But, I mean, they all 3 missed a sack.
Yeah.
And I was saying, well, that's 1 sack. And what I mean by that is that if one of those guys were to get the sack, the play's over.
It's the outcome of a play.
It's the outcome of the play.
Is the outcome of a play.
And he's saying, well, they're talking about teachable moments. Okay, that's great. I don't dispute that, yes, that's a fucking lot of teachable moments. I don't dispute that. There's other teachable moments we'll get to. But my point was, when you tell people there's 20 missed sacks, you're telling people that there are 20 sacks that should have been added on the 32.
Right.
So I went back and watched 170 of the defensive plays. And they were, according to Next Gen Stats, it didn't matter if they ended in a penalty, interception, fumble, didn't matter. So even plays that didn't even count, I went and watched them. And I watched 170 plays where there was pressure on the quarterback. So that means that to get a missed sack, you have to have some form of pressure. And out of that 170, I found 18 missed tackles in the context of there were several missed sacks.
So you found 18 plays on which a sack could have been made?
No.
Okay.
I found 18 missed sacks in general. So that 20 missed sacks, where it could be maybe 3 on one play, I found 18 missed sacks.
Okay.
I only found 6 plays where the sack would have been better than the outcome. Because there are times where they missed a sack, but it was actually an intentional grounding, which I would rather take the intentional grounding than a sack because you lose a loss of down and a bunch of yards. There were times where there was a missed sack and it ended up a interception, and that missed sack was on second down. I'd rather take the interception and get the ball back.
Yes.
But there were 18 missed sacks. Like here's one right here. The very week 1, they had 1 missed sack. But that missed sack wasn't a missed play ender, is how I'm going to word it.
Okay.
It wouldn't have ended the play because Keandre Coburn missed a sack.
Yeah.
But Sebastian Joseph Day still got the sack. So the outcome is the same.
The outcome is the same, yeah.
But do you still count that as a missed sack in the way that Brian Callahan was using it, but not in the way that matters?
I don't think I would count that.
But Keandre Coburn went right around him, missed the sack. That's a missed sack for a teaching moment, for a coaching moment. So there's the difference. There's a difference between when you're measuring the actual outcome, because there's not projection, because, Blaine was talking about, well, what if the first missed sack, Keandre Coburn's, let's say this for the example, Keandre Coburn's first missed sack actually ended up in a completion. Well, that's dealing in a hypothetical that they're not dealing in. They're dealing in actual raw data of events that happen.
Yeah.
Well, that play still ended in a sack, and that was your only missed sack of the game out of 12 pressure plays. The problem is, as I have found throughout this whole 170 plays, that there's only 6 plays where a sack would have changed the outcome of the game, which still keeps you in the bottom.
The outcome of the game or the outcome of the
play? The outcome of the play.
Okay.
I'm glad you clarified. The outcome of the play. But on top of that, there's only none of those plays would have put you up in the sack list.
Yeah.
You're still in the bottom, like 28, 27. You're like in sack rate. So that's still not good. But what I found is that T'Vondre Sweat was so fucking good last year.
He was.
And nobody else, Big Jeff talked about being double teamed and creating all these things and all this stuff. Well, the stats say he was double teamed way less than T'Vondre Sweat, which is the nature of T'Vondre Sweat's position.
Yeah. I don't know in your tape study if you found it, but I felt like there were plays that offenses were not afraid of anybody except for those two.
Yeah.
So they just double teamed them both.
Yeah, there were some of those plays. But what I found is that when T'Vondre, Big Jeff talked about, well, when I create these plays or I get double teams, all these other players need to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Well, there are lots of times where Big Jeff couldn't beat a one-on-one while T'Vondre Sweat was getting double teamed, and he couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And all that to say is that there are plenty of opportunities. There are plenty of plays where the quarterback is probably a second to half a second away from getting sacked.
Yeah.
What I'm eventually getting to is that the Tennessee Titans last year had opportunities to get more sacks, and those opportunities are because of those lack of fulfilling opportunities is because of the skill set of the players.
Yes.
They weren't fast enough. They weren't sound in their technique. They weren't, in the right spot.
They didn't trigger fast enough.
T'Vondre Sweat, Big Jeff, Sebastian Joseph Day were doing their job to create opportunities for the edge rusher. The problem is, while last year the Tennessee Titans didn't have the horses to win the race, they got slower horses closer to the glue factory this year.
Closer to the glue factory. So you're saying they haven't actually upgraded the personnel in order to address this issue?
No, they're going to be
capitalizing on
if
these
they
open holes.
they match 32 or exceed 32 sacks, I would be highly surprised. In fact, I will go in and I would put if that were the case, if they were to get to the 40s in sacks, not 32, but they went to 40, which is beating their 38 included the missed sacks, I would say Denard Wilson deserves to be coordinator of the year and should get a head coaching job, because I have no belief that this group, first off, this group is worse than last year from a pure speed and talent perspective. And I just don't think this idea of we're going to stop the run and put them in third and long situations is a feasible week-to-week strategy.
So I was going to ask you about that. The philosophy being, well, if we can actually clog up more of these holes and maybe there's not as much green grass for offenses to exploit, does that by virtue kind of scheme pressures open? Do you believe in that, or is that kind of I don't want to say a coping mechanism, but it's like you had so many cornerstone needs on this roster. You had to go get the quarterback if you had conviction. You had to go get the left tackle to improve what we've been saying for weeks: better protection, more stable quarterback equals more explosive plays. So then you're kind of stuck with premium needs like edge rusher and not premium resources to dedicate to them. So you kind of have to cope a little bit, and you have to use this missed sacks as like, well, they're teaching moments. And if we bolster the run and if we just get in the film room, we don't have to be the fastest or most skilled pass rushing group, but if we just get in our gaps and we fulfill our obligations within this defense, the sacks will come.
Yeah.
Is that baloney? Are they just coping?
Hope's not a strategy.
Hope's not a strategy. No.
And I think that's what they're hoping. I think they're hoping they can scheme all this. I think essentially, though, what they're really hoping is that this could be a back-to-front defense.
Yeah.
I think if you look at what they tried to do at safety, what they're hoping L'Jarius Sneed can bring back, and what they've even been able to do, I know this is kind of middle, but even what they've been able to do with the linebackers. I think if you look at the linebackers, safety, and corners, they're thinking these guys will carry the job. Our pass rushers, no matter how slow they are, will finally gallop to the finish line at some point in time.
Yeah. We just need them to hold the edge and keep the quarterback contained in the pocket.
I think ultimately that's what I think they're hoping that this getting a little bit bigger, eating up a little bit more space, being able to clog the passing lanes. I think that's what they're hoping is going to work. But I look at it and I go, 20 missed sacks, as they put it. 18 is how I saw it. And there were 12 iffy plays, so my margin of error of 2. That's not too far off.
Yeah.
Is that it's I get why they're saying it out in public. I just think that maybe it needed a follow-up question at some point, because there's not 18 plays that would have ended differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now Joe Blacko in the chat says, players don't get paid for intentional grounding, though, but we're not talking about the players.
Yeah,
the players aren't the ones telling us there's missed sacks, 20 missed sacks. It's the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not looking at this with incentives in mind. They're looking at it with do we need to improve on defense? And we all know they need to improve the safety position, the sacks on this team. But they didn't. Like, when Draymond Jones got hired, this is a good hire. You still need 2 more edge rushers.
Yeah.
When they hired and signed Lorenzo Carter, we said, you still need 2 more edge rushers. He didn't count. When they drafted Femi, you still need an edge rusher. We're still talking about trying to get Zadarius Smith. They're talking about maybe even floating the name Preston Smith out there, which, guess what? Preston Smith ain't going to fucking help you either. Who's still, even with Preston Smith, who the best pass rusher on this team is?
Who?
Arden Key.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
So how do you reconcile what they're doing.
And Joe goes coaching point to motivate players. My point, I agree. We all agree that that's what the 18 and 20 are used for sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand why they're using the 18 or 20, but we as a fan base and media need to make sure that we delineate that 18 20 is fine for what they're trying to use it for, but there's not 18 or 20 sacks being added to the 32.
Yeah, and
there's really only 6 sacks being added to the 32.
Because I feel like the average fan is going to hear that and say, oh, we almost had 18 more sacks, so they're close, and maybe this pass rush is going to be better after all, and it's only a run of bad luck and poor technique from players that aren't here anymore that we didn't get those sacks last year, but we're going to get them this year. And I think the bottom line would be false hope. I think it creates false hope among the fan base, and we're just trying to kind of distinguish, no, this may not necessarily be the case. This could still be a unit that struggles.
Here's a good example of a play, another example. In week 4 in the Miami game, Arden Key, Sebastian Joseph Day, and Kenneth Murray all missed on one play. It ended up being an incomplete pass, but you would rather have the sack. So that is 3 missed sacks, but only 1 missed play.
Yeah.
And so in that instance, I understand why they would use, okay, Arden Key, here's why you're an idiot.
Because you're going to
Sebastian Joseph Day, here's why you're an idiot. Kenneth Murray, here's why you're an idiot and bad at your job. But at the end of the day, only one of those sacks would have mattered. And if 2 of those players would have combined for a sack, guess what shows up on the stat sheet? 1 sack.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that there's only 1 play that ended.
Yeah, and it's like if Arden Key connects on his sack, then there's no missed sack for Sebastian Joseph Day or Kenneth Murray either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I vibe with it. We can kind of get into the debate. I feel like we've done it quite a bit this spring. We can get into the debate of, did they just do the best that they could with the resources they had to address the edge rusher position? I think in the building they're probably pretty high on Femi Oladejo, and maybe they're proven right. We'll
probably
see.
In year 3.
But
I mean, let's be honest. Like, you're going into next year, Draymond Jones 1-year contract, Arden Key on the last year of his contract, Ali Gay on his last year of his contract, Jihad Ward on the last year of his contract, Jalen Harrell, not a factor. But, that's 5 edge rushers that aren't going to be a factor in 2025, which leaves just 1 in Femi Oladejo.
Yeah.
You need 3 or 4. You're going into next season needing 3 or 4 pass rushers.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was critical of the pick. I was critical of them not pursuing some of the free agent options a little harder. But I can get the point of being prudent here, too, and maybe thinking we can get creative if we bolster the safety position. We're in a good spot to get our safety of the future.
And I think that's their plan, is they are planning on this rush together idea. Their pass rushing together isn't just the front 5.
Yeah.
Trying to do it. It's that they're rushing, they're maybe blitzing, and then James Williams or Cody Barton has to maintain their spot. The corners have to do their job. The safety has to cover their spots of the field. That may work, but it's likely not going to end in sacks, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because there are pressures that lead to interceptions, pressures that lead to intentional grounding. But if you're going to tout that missed sacks are the reason why your pass rush sucked, what they have gone about to try to fix that or correct that is not the right way.
So it's more of trusting the judgment of the people making the decisions, how we attack this.
Yeah, trust is a big thing. Yeah. Because I think if you go back and look at this offense and this defense, this staff and this player, the players among each other, I think there is a lack of trust. I think when you go and look at the plays like in the Colts game where they ran 300 yards, when you go to the Commanders game where they ran all over us, when you go and look at the Jets game where there's a little bit of finger pointing because someone's on their spots, I think at a certain point, these players didn't trust each other, or they didn't trust in the scheme, and then vice versa. I feel like There are times where the staff didn't trust in their players to execute.
Yeah.
And when you have so many chains of broken trust, it's hard to get it all back together.
Yeah.
And I think once you saw what happened on offense and you've seen what happened on defense as the season went on, it's not skill. I think a lot of it just has to do with trust from both the coaches and the players.
Yeah, I could see that wholeheartedly. I think there was a pretty distinct break. By the way, I love that the Titans had what many consider a really good practice in Tampa Bay today, and we're leading off the show talking about the Washington game. And we're just twisting the knife. But
we'll end on the positive note.
Yeah, I do feel like there was a pretty clear, distinct breaking point for the defense last season, and we've talked about what the departure of Ernest Jones IV and Quandre Diggs via trade or via injury meant for the defense last year, but it did really feel like the later it got into the season, the slower the defense became. And I don't mean physically speed slower, but there were times it just felt like guys were standing in quicksand, just watching things unfold before them. And I think it's hard for me to imagine being a coach in that situation and wanting to keep trotting out those same players because I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, I think
it's a shitty situation.
It is,
man.
because
it's
like
a shitty situation.
My initial instinct when I talk about trust, and we started talking about this, we kind of alluded to this last week when we were talking about motion.
Mm-hmm.
No huddle.
No huddle.
We were talking about no huddle, and we were talking about all the things you needed to have as a quarterback to do no huddle.
Yeah.
And how, Will Levis didn't have any of these things, so how do you trust him to run no huddle?
So you don't.
You just have to have it's not about, at that point, trust. It's about blind faith.
Yeah.
Like you have to have blind faith and pray to the gods, the football gods, that, hey, this play's going to work, or these series of plays are going to work.
And nobody talks about. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Well,
I'm sorry.
my thing is like when I'm talking through with this with Blaine, and we get to this essence of trust, and then I start thinking, well, as a coach, how do you overcome that lack of trust? And is it a coaching thing that, like, is it a negative mark on Brian Callahan's resume that he couldn't find a way to get out of his own way to trust? Maybe that's the wrong wording, but like as a coach, you just kind of have to like bite the bullet, bite your lip, and trust that the players are going to be able to do the plays that you call. But then I go back to 28-3 Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons and all this stuff, and how the reason the Atlanta Falcons got there with Kyle Shanahan was that Matt Ryan just had to say, you have to trust me. And so even the best coaches have this hard time just letting go.
Yeah.
And instead of putting on the training wheels, and it feels like last year this coaching staff was coaching with training wheels on. Well, instead of just saying, fuck it, let's just do it. We suck anyway.
Well, that's what I was about to get to, is like you would think conventional wisdom is like, just we suck. Let's just fucking rip it, man. Let's just get out there and go. But what if, in a sense, they were coaching for their jobs because they knew, like, well, if we try to do this with Will Levis, it ain't going to work, and then we're going to look even shittier. It's just such a weird
balance
It is. So I don't know, man. It's a tough spot, and I think it kind of put, when you talk about trust, because there is a contingent of Titans fans that to this day bring up Mike Vrabel's name, and they don't trust Brian Callahan. And I think all of this that we're talking about affects the public perception of him in a way that kind of puts this coaching staff in a hole heading into 2025.
But that also goes back to with the comments from Cam Ward today. And I know I don't think we ever figured out the audio for that, and that's fine. But the stuff with Cam Ward where he is saying stuff in terms of phrases, like he said twice, Stoney, we have to stay ahead of the sticks.
Yeah.
Today, twice. He's talked about having to trust his receivers to make plays. He talked about having to learn the timing that he's going to have to, on these routes, he's going to have to throw these guys open. He's talking about all this stuff in detail, which is the same exact talking points we've heard from Brian Callahan since he got the job, since he did mini camp, since he did training camp, since he did the regular season. Or these are all things we have heard him say.
Mm-hmm.
We never heard Will Levis say it. We never heard Mason Rudolph say it. And then we go back around to why this crazy thing between Brian Callahan, who many have written off,
mm-hmm.
and Cam Ward, who many in the national media did not think was going to be a good pro quarterback. This crazy marriage is going to work because they're on the same page, because there's a level of communication and trust that wasn't there last year. And so I almost want to say that I think trust may be the most undervalued asset in the NFL.
And to piggyback off of that, we can go back to this whole camaraderie thing. You know, they just had Jelly Roll come in and give a motivational speech about life on the road. And in it, the central message was not lost on me. Grow together. Like, become brothers.
Yeah.
Something we've heard all offseason long. You do kind of improve the team chemistry, but I think trust is a byproduct of that, where you're learning what makes the guy next to you tick, and you want to fight for that person, sure, but you also kind of understand that person's frame of reference, and so then you begin to anticipate what that person's going to do because you know them better at a deeper level. That's trust. And so I do kind of feel like it's a case where we knew we couldn't check off every box that we needed this offseason, so we've got to come up with some different ways to improve this fucking football team.
Yeah.
Let's get them on the same page. Let's get them to trust one another. Improve the run to generate sacks. Like, these outside-the-box options, to me, it feels like a team that if this staff, if this regime is going down, they're going down swinging.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with it, too, is like someone today at stackoftheinbox.com, we did an impromptu Ask Me Anything, and someone's like, well, do you think this team can double their win total? And I go, at this point, if they don't double their win total, I would call that disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
And that has more to do with what I believe in Cam Ward. Like, I think with everything that you hear, everything that I've seen in person regarding Cam Ward, he's the dude.
He's the dude.
He is the dude. And everybody on the staff, from the quarterback's coach all the way up to ownership, believe that he is the dude. And I think when you have that strong a conviction, normally there's dissenting opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure even with, I know there were dissenting opinions on Marcus Mariota being drafted. We know there was dissenting opinions on Will Levis being drafted.
Yep.
I don't know much about Jake Locker and his draft stuff. Probably some dissenting opinions,
Vince
right?
Young.
Exactly. You go
Vince
back
Young.
to almost every one of the Tennessee Titans drafted quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There was some kind of dissenting opinion. And with this one, there seems to be no dissenting opinion, and I can see why. You hear him speak and talk in detail and give you, it's a lot like Brian Callahan. Sometimes you're kind of like, well, you're probably giving away too much a little bit. I mean, or maybe you don't need to say this, but the way that Brian Callahan speaks to the media is the same way that Cam Ward speaks to the media. When you have that kind of transparency, it not only is just letting the fans in a little bit on their process and a little bit of where their head's at, but it's letting you know that they're thinking 5 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we listen to Brian Callahan, we're like, well, this guy knows what he's talking about. It's just not happening on the field. Cam Ward, so far, through most of the majority of these practices, he knows what he's talking about, knows what he's got to work on, knows what he's trying to do, and he just hasn't been able to do it. But the last 2 practices, he has been able to do it.
Yeah. I was having a bit of a crisis earlier in the week. I was texting you like, "Oh God, what if we've gotten it all wrong on this offense and they're struggling, it's not clicking." We're talking about like, well, all they're working on is like red zone and stuff like that, and like why can't they get him into a rhythm and all this? And then they go out this week and have a couple of good practices, and it's like, okay, maybe we've turned the key over. The engine's been spitting and sputtering, but it's finally starting to rev up a little bit. That's the hope anyway. And you hope to see, when you talk about like next steps, like checkpoints, like you hope to see when that next checkpoint comes, he continues to pass these things.
Well, the next checkpoint will be in Saturday's preseason game, right?
Saturday night.
Titans talk back.
We're
going from 10 to 11. You ready?
Whew.
At least it's just 1 hour.
Oh, it is only 1 hour?
Well, it's only 1 hour as long as they end at 10. If they end at like 9:30, because I don't think he's doing a post-game presser. I think that's going to be on Sunday via Zoom.
Yeah.
So if there's no post-game presser, we go all the way from then to 11.
I was prepping to be here till like 2 in the morning.
No. We are not going to be here till 2 in the morning.
All right, that's good to know.
But I just think that there seems to be, and I think the offseason theme, you touched on it, is all about trust.
Yeah.
It's all about, I mean, what was that? It's all about trust. It's all about camaraderie. And I get that Brian Callahan has a lot of, what is going on in there? I get that Brian Callahan has a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But we talked about it so much last year that we believe in Brian Callahan, and it's hard to put into reasons why, because we know that the scheme works. We see the scheme work. We know there's a lot of different situations where growing pains.
Yeah.
He's not Mike Vrabel, right? Like, I mean, like everybody who loves Mike Vrabel, go get your face bloodied up in New England and get all your players hurt if that's what you're into, and then draft a guard and try to play him at left tackle
and sign a bunch of busted ass free agents.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not going to prevent you from going over there and enjoying the fruits of Michael Vrabel's labor, while he's over there trying to be like, well, maybe we overthought the Peter Skoronski thing. No, you guys fucking didn't. You just guys didn't have a left tackle.
And now guess what? A guard.
And they drafted a guard, and they still got a left tackle
this year. Yeah,
I mean, give me a break. So I get it. I understand that you always want to pine for some of the lovers of your past, but the lover you got in front of you is probably going to turn out pretty good. Maybe a rocky start. First couple of dates weren't that great. Maybe she burped.
Yeah.
Maybe she shit herself at dinner. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you eat too much. Sometimes you lay down too hard. Toot slips out.
A little toot slips out. But at the end of the day, this offseason, and I know people want to make fun of these offseason programs and the tug of war and all that stuff. I don't know. Kind of feels like it's working on the surface when you're at these camps and you're watching these progress and all this stuff. I got to see more. But what I like so far, the early returns seem to be trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that was one of my big takeaways from studying this offense and the explosive plays all summer long, was that there are so many instances where you can see the scheme working, but the ball just doesn't come out. And whether it's not making a read, not making an accurate throw, or the protection not holding up and pressure affecting it, a couple of things go wrong and it throws the whole thing off. And I understand like wanting to kind of like, well, Brian should have tailored his coaching more to Will Levis's strengths, but I do think that they tried some of that. And I do think it does get to a point where it's like, all right, I can't just run. There's certain things I can't even try with this guy, or else I will be fired as a head coach.
Yeah.
Like I am hopeful that Cam Ward alone will unlock a lot of the potential of this offense. And if the offensive line can improve, then the protection should be better. And I think it could have an exponential impact on the offense. And like we've talked about last week, a couple of weeks ago, I think that great unlocking is what turns this thing around.
Yep.
So I don't think it's going to be the defense.
A little news update for you guys as y'all were doing the show. The Texans, it's confirmed that C.J. Gardner-Johnson has torn his ACL, and he will be out for the entire 2025 season.
Damn, that sucks.
Dude,
I hate that for him. That's a guy they just can't stay healthy.
I know, man. It's a guy the Titans under Rand were in on, weren't they? They were trying to get
a little
him.
bit, I think.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
AFC South going through it tonight.
They are going through it. To your point, what we've seen from Cam Ward the last 2 days is the Cam Ward that you kind of were hoping you'd see like the first week.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that's been a slow start, but again, they were basically doing like one man versus 100 gorillas style defense. Like, I mean, it was Cam. I mean, they were stacking the deck against Cam Ward, and I get it. I get why they're doing it and all this kind of stuff. Maybe you would like to see a couple of easy plays, but it never affected his confidence, and that's kind of what you want to see because you saw crybaby Hugh Freeze, who was just crying, just sobbing in this SEC documentary. Baby. Big old titty baby. And he was just crying in this documentary. Oh, I got a text from Eugene Asante, who just thanked me for, I guess, he got drafted. And somehow that's Hugh Freeze's, that's Hugh Freeze, for you, I guess. But he sent this text and everything talking, and all the Auburn players are sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy going to shut up?
Yeah.
But, like, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. I start shitting on Hugh Freeze.
I'm going to get in trouble if we start asking for my opinions on Hugh Freeze.
But either way, I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about something. Jackson, do you remember what we were talking about?
Fuck no, I just got here.
Well, you're talking
I guess
about
it's
something.
time to wrap up the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you want to talk about the Denver game? And
Well,
be here
let's hold up
45
on
more minutes?
Yeah, you had some really good insight on the Denver game. We can see that on Stack in the Inbox next week, right?
A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow.
Tomorrow's article is what happened if the Titans' left tackle's woes continue.
You know
Very
what is a
positive,
week from
uplifting
tomorrow,
stuff.
right?
What?
Next week.
Next week is a week from tomorrow. Yes, you're right.
I do want to say this. I went to Neighbors today.
Mm-hmm.
Just around the corner. Free shout-outs, I guess. Went to Neighbors today.
Yeah.
And I sat at the bar. When I sat at the bar, there was only another couple just a few seats to my left. And then all of a sudden, people keep filtering in and sitting next to me. Now, just so you guys know, it is probably a bar where you can sit probably 35 people.
Big old bar.
A big old bar, a long bar.
Yeah.
And I sat near the right-hand side of the bar where there's probably only like 6 or 7 seats empty to me. Those seats all filled up. And then a guy sat right next to me. And every other seat to my left, the other couple had already left, is wide open.
Yeah.
What is your fucking problem that you have to sit right next to me? This is why I buy 3 movie theater seats, because I don't want some fucking person.
You can afford to buy 3 movie theater seats?
When you're a Regal Crown Reward member, you can afford it. 'Cause you know what? I don't pay for concessions ever, so there you go.
How about that?
I mean, damn, Zach, that's like $50 in movie seats that you're not even using.
Technically, it's $80 because I go to IMAX. So.
Oh, my gosh. That's insane.
Yeah, but I don't have to pay for concessions, so I make it up in the concessions.
Do you bring your own microwave popped popcorn?
No. But what I'm saying is all my concessions are free.
Because member.
Oh, so you still get...
Because I'm part of the Regal Rewards Crown member. So for every time you buy a ticket, you get extra points too. So I'm constantly never paying for concessions. And so, but
Joe's got this one. Urinal rules apply at the bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
A buffer seat. A buffer seat's required.
Buffer seat, yeah.
Especially if there's 30 other seats open.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
what are we
really
doing?
wanted to make a friend.
Well, he may have. He was quite the talker to the bartenders and the people next to him on the other side that he didn't know. When he sat down, he touched me.
Oh, really?
Like, not
Did you
like
guys touch bellies?
we wasn't belly to belly.
Okay.
You guys
he
romantically
like
looked into each
brushed the
other's eyes?
shoulder. He like brushed shoulder. No, because I shot him a look like, what the fuck are you doing?
I got to Neighbors and walked in and was like, where the fuck is Zach? I'm looking for you sitting by yourself.
He was sitting with his best friend.
And
Yeah.
then I got a text message that said, you weirdo, of all the places, why'd you sit right next to me? And then I looked up. I was like, oh, there he is, sitting in this crowd of people at the bar.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, give me the buffer seat.
If I have a question for you before we get out of here.
Okay.
If you could give a motivational speech to the Titans, what would it be about? Because apparently my McDouble bit was a little more popular than I expected it to be. People got a kick out of that. But
Oh, man.
I ate a McDouble in one bite.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess it would be,
How you led 104.5 The Zone to a Marconi Award finalist.
there you go. That's easy. That's a lot better than what I was probably going to go with. That's going to be a lot friendlier. So, yeah, there would be it. How one scrappy underdog podcast can turn into a potential award-winning, nationally recognized station.
Just with hard work and know-how.
Yep, just hard work and know-how.
Yeah.
And no help from the Titans.
I do.
Yeah, no help to you guys in the room with me.
I can't say when are they going to find someone else to come in and talk to the team?
I don't know. You're treading on thin ice, buddy.
Well, the problem with that is a lot of the celebrities here in Nashville don't actually like anything about Nashville.
But couldn't
Like Jelly Roll is like the exception for that.
But like, couldn't the coaches be motivators at some point? I know. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing against Jelly Roll, but I'm a little dismayed that the only person willing to come in and talk to this team is Jelly Roll.
I'm sure they could get the guy from Psych to come do it.
Yeah, why can't James Roday do it?
Yeah, or Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett would be a good one. Drew McIntyre, Rusev,
Yeah.
Sheamus.
Yeah, we could come do it.
We could come do it.
Yeah.
Listen, you have us come do it. I mean, they may be running through the walls, but just to escape us.
Yeah, which is a motivation in its own
It's
right.
a motivation. And again, it's nothing against Jelly Roll. It's just funny that, like, I feel like we get the same, like, every month we get a, Jelly Roll motivational clip, and I'm like, is there nobody else that can come motivate? Is there nobody willing to come motivate the Tennessee Titans? Does everybody hate the Titans?
Just sign him at this point.
Yes.
Just put him on the coaching staff.
Might as well. Means he put him as team chaplain.
There we go.
We solved it. I know Malik Willis is gone, so I know the opening is there.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, James Prochet could actually fill that. I don't know if he was a big time God guy. He quoted scripture and everything.
Is that right?
Fuck.
Yeah. Huh? Buck or fuck?
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
What'd you chime in with?
I said, fuck.
Oh, I don't know why you don't like James Prochet. I mean, like,
What? Are you okay?
do you have Tourette's? Like, what was that? Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm on the phone with my wife, and I was like, "Hey, watch this."
Oh,
It's a bit. I got it.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
there we go.
I like that he's using us to impress his wife.
Yeah.
Again, we're motivators.
We're motivators.
I was freaking her out because she knows that you're technically not allowed to cuss into a microphone, and so when I just go "fuck" into a live microphone, it kind of freaks her out.
Oh,
Doing it for the bit. I
doing it
respect
for the
that.
bit. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything in the chat?
Let's see here. Denard needs to be the head coach, even though Denard was terrible at game planning. I added that onto Joe Blacko's statement. Bustin' Diamond says Sheamus. We got the McDouble show to Sundays. You're gonna have to do the McDouble. Are you McDouble retired?
I don't think I can do that. I mean, I'm fucking morbidly obese already. I need to stop like all the fast food
as we just like downed some beers and had buffalo chicken quesadillas,
tater tots that
tater tots.
labored back up to the station. Yeah, no, I'm trying to be a little bit healthier. I don't even know if I could do it anymore because you have to you got to really like unhinge your jaw and like let that throat open to get it all in there. And then it's hard to chew because it's just like putting a softball in your mouth, you know? I don't think I could do it anymore. Those are my younger days.
How many softballs have you put in your mouth?
I haven't put any in my mouth.
So why would a McDouble taste like a softball to you?
It doesn't taste like a softball. It feels like a softball.
Does it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Size-wise, because it expands, you know.
It does?
The bread I felt like it was like like squeaking out through in between my teeth.
Yeah. This is why we're getting the Marconi Award.
Yes. Hey, if I can, before we go, my one more thing, I want to give a shout out to my wife because she just got back from New Mexico and she brought me a peace pipe that had been blessed by a Pueblo man.
Just some random Pueblo man?
He's an artist. He makes the pipes, but he said,
is his blessings have power?
I think so. I think that's how that works.
Well, I mean, like Jackson could come in and bless a hot dog. Does that make the hot dog better?
I'm going to eat that hot dog and maybe the Titans win a
Jackson
Super Bowl.
loves to bless hot dogs, from what I've heard. He likes to put them right in the bun.
Okay. All right. Joseph's on one tonight.
But I mean, you just got a random pipe. It sounds like
it's a pea pipe.
It's a pea pipe.
It's a peace pipe.
Marconi Award, right on the way.
Yeah.
But
shout out my wife.
I mean, I love the sentiment, but like this blessing feels like it's like a hollow thing. It's
what I'm saying is the Titans are going to win a Super Bowl.
It's like when McDonald's asks you if you want buffalo sauce or any sauce with your nuggets.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything extra. The person didn't bless your nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave you sauce that was already there. It seems like you just got a pipe with stuff that was already there.
Well, I mean, it could, but what if it's like an incantation that like you
But what is his power? What's his background?
I just told you.
He's just a pet. All you told me is he's a Pueblo man.
My hope is that the magic will fulfill one wish of mine, and that wish is for the Titans to win the Super Bowl this year.
Are you on drugs?
He's been smoking that peace pipe.
I don't know
the pea pipe.
I don't know what's in that peace pipe.
Well, probably pee.
Probably pee.
If the Titans don't win the Super Bowl, do you get your money back?
I don't know.
No, if the Titans don't win the Super Bowl, Stoney has to go sit in the desert in New Mexico until they do.
Yeah. Those stakes seem reasonable.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Okay, real quick. Here's my one more thing. I know Joseph is dying to get home, but here's my one more thing. Did y'all see Bleacher Reporting, BR Betting, put out this tweet about the over-under of chicken nuggets you've eaten in your lifetime, not including chicken tenders?
What?
So over-under 999.5 chicken nuggets eaten in your lifetime. Now, before you answer, that is 20-piece chicken McNuggets in your life to reach 1,000.
Man,
I have blown past that.
Okay,
easily by 10 years old.
I've got a question. So when you go to Chick-fil-A in like the mornings and you get like the chicken minis and they put the nugget inside like the little bread thing, does that count as a nugget?
I don't know. They only showed like your standard nugget thing. So I don't know about Chick-fil-A's nuggets technically, if those would count. But I'm just talking specifically myself. Chicken McNuggets. I have easily, by the age of 10, surpassed 1,000.
Yeah.
That number is so... I probably have surpassed 1,000 in the last 365 days.
Yeah.
I am probably only running on Chicken McNuggets. Specifically, chicken McNuggets from McDonald's.
You said 50, 20 pieces?
Yeah, that's that's nothing.
That's
because they're
once a week
talking
for a year.
lifetime. That's a lifetime.
Yeah, I'm hitting the over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like everybody in America's hitting over. There's probably a 4-year-old more beast child that has already hit the over.
I don't know if there's kids out there like me that are just deep throating McDoubles.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, if you're a McDouble person, you're probably not eating, the chicken McNuggets. I just think that's totally insane.
That is insane. Yeah.
That's like saying like 1,000 ounces of beer a year. I've surpassed that already. I've maybe even done it today.
Today, yeah.
Like To me, this is nothing. I bet I could do 1,000 nuggets in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So that's 500 nuggets.
What's 7 divided by 50? That's a.
I almost picked up my battery pack. Like, let me consult my
Okay,
calculator here.
I had Jackson and I had a buddy from college who tried to do 100 nuggets in one sitting, and he got to 60 before
71.
No, 70. Okay, he's got to 71 before he decided he wanted to kill himself.
Okay, so I need to eat 71 nuggets a day, almost 72 to reach 1,000 in 2 weeks. So that would mean I would need to eat essentially 2.5 20-piece chicken McNuggets every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You think you could do that?
That would be pretty tough. I could probably do it. I love chicken nuggies.
I do too.
And I
So
love
you and Andy Reid,
Yeah.
got to have them nuggies.
You gotta have them nuggies.
What if I just got up and walked out of the room right now?
Do it.
Well, you wouldn't get your
I dare you.
Marconi award.
Make sure you bring your mic and your IFB back in here, please.
There you go.
I'm leaving right now.
We're to get chicken McNuggets.
Yes.
All right, that will do it for us. The future Marconi Award-winning podcast is closing its books for the night.
Yeah.
We will be off next week. My wife is having surgery on Wednesday, so I'm going to take the Thursday off to make sure that she is all right the next day, take care of any needs that she may have, i.e. cooking for her whatever kind of soup she wants or something. We'll see about that. Other than that, for Stoney Keeley, you can follow him on Twitter at Stoney Keeley. You can follow me on Twitter at The Zach Lyons. And, of course, Cover 2, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And also this Saturday, I'm doing the pregame show and the postgame show for a preseason football game. And Stoney will be there with Dr. Dyson as well. Cannot wait for the inaugural game experience of. I can't wait for Kevin. Talk about leaving a studio during the show.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Kevin Dyson while we talk about chicken nuggets to leave the show.
We're going to be sitting there. People are going to be calling in asking about Cam Ward, and I'm going to be like, well, according to my peace pipe from the Pueblo Man in New Mexico,
yeah,
they're going to win this game.
And they're going to win the Super Bowl according to your wish
that
you gave to the Pueblo Man.
I don't know if you should bring up Super Bowls to Kevin Dyson.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, don't worry. Someone will call in and make sure to bring up, hey, you remember that time you fell, a yard short?
Yeah.
There was someone that called in one time, Jackson. Is Jackson still in there? Jackson, Do you remember the guy that called in and was like, don't you think the Titans should have drafted Randy Moss or something? Kevin Dyson?
Are you
it was something insane like that.
Oh.
And I was just like looking at my laptop going, I don't know what to do because I want to rip into that guy.
Yeah.
And but something similar to that. We always get someone that brings up that, dreadful, 1 yard short.
Yeah.
It's just so unfair. This man's a fucking doctor.
I know, man. He's a really nice man, too.
He is. He'll hate us by the end of the season. He'll be so sick of us.
He'll get up and walk out.
I mean, he's used to dealing with children as a principal of a school, so y'all are fine.
Yeah.
We should have him on F words sometime.
We should. We could talk about Pueblo men and
totally ruin his
chicken
reputation.
nuggets.
and being belly to belly, staring a man in another eye.
Deep throating McDoubles.
Deep throating McDoubles. All right, that will do it for us. This has been Football and Other F Words, and you've just been effed.